Now, for the speaker. And the next person I'm going to call up, Natalie, she's actually a very good friend of mine. And she is the youngest MOE coach and the youngest MOE coach trainer. And she's actually one of the lead trainers in the Guernsey team. So can we give Natalie a massive round of applause, please?
Wow. Okay, so I've got to be completely honest here. I haven't got a clue what's going to come out of my mouth for the next 12 minutes. I prepared, and then I prepared again, and then I prepared another time, and I prepared so many times, I'm completely unprepared. See, my problem was I wanted to be perfect. Right from the moment I found out about this conference, I knew I had to come, and I had to be in the audience, sat where you are, hearing these people, amazing, extraordinary people, standing up here talking to you. How exciting, how inspiring. Then I ended up one of the speakers. How did that happen? Me? Me? Why am I a speaker? Who am I to talk to anyone about what it is to be alive, be you, be anything you want to be? What have I done? I'm just me. So that was the inspiration for my talk. I am just me. So I'm going to talk to you about my journey from the age of about 14 to discovering, to the age I'm now 19, why it's pretty fantastic to be you, to be me, each and every one of you. So I was around 14 when I started to feel depressed, but it took about a year till I was about 15 that I realised what I was feeling was actually an illness. It's called depression, and it's awful. A lot of people have it. I found that out after looking online. So I was online and I was, Googling depression, finding out all about other people's stories. I wasn't alone, and there's lots of people feeling like this. I found a community. You've probably heard of the website. It's called Tumblr. And if you know Tumblr, there's sections, isn't there? There's the fandoms, the crazy people who obsess over Benedict Cumberbatch and his jawline. There's the art bloggers and the photography bloggers who all have really pretty pictures, and you wonder how much Photoshop went into that. But they do it well, so can't complain. There's media students and people that use it for blogging purposes, that write stories. And then there's support groups. And a lot of them are really wonderful. Absolutely fantastic. You can't find better groups of people. But within there's the evil ones. That's what I found. I found a community of people with depression, and they all supported it. They all thought it was great to have depression. You were special, there was something good about you. Something someone else didn't have, you had it, you want to keep it, and you want to make it worse and worse. And I read articles and articles and articles on why it's good to have depression. And I read tips on harming yourself and ways to kill yourself. And there's articles like how to die glamorously, to make sure that when you kill yourself, your corpse isn't left in pieces, isn't left bloody, isn't left... It's awful. It's not what we want, but it's out there. And that's where I ended up, and it made me feel awful. So, took my GCSE exams, summer of 2013. I wasn't in a great place before that. But then at my exam time, I would be sat just waiting with my clear pencil case, my pens, pencils. I had about 5 different pens in case 4 ran out and ended up with the last one. And I would be nervous. I was sat there, butterflies in my stomach, worried, frantic, in my head. Oh, it's going to go wrong. What am I going to do? Oh, I've not revised enough. I need to study more. I need to, thoughts racing, hands shaking, twitching. Prior to this, I'd only felt emptiness with depression. This was different. this was great, you know, I felt really different. It was just nice to feel something for once. But then I had panic attacks, and finally my mum knew something was wrong. I couldn't hide. You can't hide a panic attack, can you? And I ended up having to see a therapist. She took me to a therapist, but I didn't want to get better. I wanted to carry on feeling something that wasn't depression. I wanted to feel something. It didn't work, but I somehow managed to get through the panic attacks. But after my exams, they faded. I only get one every couple of months now. It took so long for me to feel that that wasn't right, to feel those. But then it took me back to depression. Anyway, I got my results. Got some alright results, you know, a few B's. I got an A that I was happy about. So, well done me. I was so happy when I opened the envelope and I read that A. It was maths, and it was the one subject I loved. Absolutely loved it. And I did a further maths degree, further maths qualification. And I opened the envelope. Oh wow, yes, I've got an A. And I jumped over the school hall to my teacher. And in that moment, I felt like a normal person. I was jumping. I had the envelope in my hand. Yes, yes, yes. I got an A. That's what I wanted. That's what I'd worked for. I wasn't depressed for all of 1 minute. Anyway, I went home, and I was all that. I was fine. Summer, great. Had friends. Just two, but it was enough. I ended up going to sixth form. Ended up leaving after a month. Had depression. Couldn't cope with it. I left and found a job. I was 16 in work. I had another friend who'd done that, and she was making a pretty good life for herself. She got a lot of money in regards to my £10 to my name. So I thought, yes, this is great. I'll start a pension early. I can be one of them rich pensioners that everyone hates. I've always been a bit strange like that. Anyway, I got this job 5 months later, after missing so many days of work because I was ill, partly from depression, but depression makes your immune system not as strong as it should be. So whenever I got a cold, it was 10 times worse. Whenever I got an infection of any kind, it was so much worse. And in an office, in the aircon, you get everything anyone's got. So I had too much time off work. I ended up losing that job. They said I failed my probation. Fair enough. I wasn't reliable enough. I decided to take a year out. In that year out, I thought, I need to do something with my time. I need to try, if I can, to beat this depression. I was asked by my counsellor the other day, how can you describe depression? Some people say it's like a black dog. Some people say a dark cloud. What did I think it was? I said it was a friend. Depression is like this friend who's always there for you. They've got their arm around you and they keep you safe. It's comfortable, familiar. So my friend was with me throughout this whole journey. My friend was there when I enrolled on the MOE course, the coaching course, the first one in Guernsey. So I went, arm in arm with my friend. What's this all about? What is a coach? Anyway, 3 days later, I'd somehow made it through 3 days. I don't know how. Wasn't going to go back after the first day, but I did it anyway. And, dragged my friend along. I was like, I'm doing this. This is something for me. I've always done everything for you. It was an abusive relationship. You see, they wanted to do everything for them, and I could never do anything for myself. I wasn't allowed to speak to people that they didn't want me to. I wasn't allowed to go places that they didn't want me to. Finally, I was standing up to it. I said, no, I want to go and do this. You can come with me or you can stay at home. Of course they came with me. They couldn't let me do something on my own. But I got to go. I got home after 6 weeks later, after the final 2 days, and I had that nice shiny blue certificate, I'm sure a lot of you know. It's really shiny, isn't it? I really like that. It's really, really shiny. So anyway, I sat there, just sat looking at it. I've achieved something. I have a certificate to prove I achieved something. Wow. But then I remembered on the final day, the lead trainer, James, said that there was the trainer's pathway, and anyone that was interested, they could go along and become a trainer. So I thought, that sounds really fun, but why would they want me? They need someone more normal. They want normal people to train people. They don't want young old me that's weird and things. Yeah. Anyway, I asked myself a coaching question. I'd just learnt it, so I was all excited to use the coaching tools, and I asked myself, if they want a normal person, what does a normal person look like? Good question, there isn't an answer. I like to have answers, and I like to be perfect, and I like to be normal. 3 things I didn't have in that moment. That moment changed my life. I'm not normal, I'm not perfect, and I don't have the answer to every problem in the universe. But I have a lot of answers in me, and you all have a lot of answers in you. There's answers in all of us, and we need to know who has the right answers, and we need to know how to access them. That's why it's great to be me, and that's why it's each and every one of you. It's great for you to be me, your own you, because you don't want to be me, because I'm me. You can't be me. I've taken that one. You be you. Okay. So it's good to be me, isn't it? I came up with an example. I said, if Martin Luther King Jr., the one everyone always quotes, if he had decided someone else could change the world, how many more years would we have had to wait for equality? If he had just said, just like the next person, I'm me, what change am I going to make? Just me. I'm just me, Martin Luther King Jr., what am I going to do? Look what he did do. So be you, be me, and make a change.
That was fantastic. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you. I can breathe again now.
Yes, you can. That came across very well, I want to say.
Thank you.
Okay, so your talk was on depression, which is a bit of a heavy subject. And, what would you say your biggest takeaway from, having that experience to now is?
I think it would be to embrace everything that happens to you. I've become a bit of a believer in everything happens for a reason. So there was a reason for me to have depression, and possibly it was to come to the realization that me is great. Like I said, I think everything happens for a reason, and however hard it was to go through years of being depressed and still recovering, quite honestly. I still have bad days, but I'm grateful for them. I'm not grateful for feeling how I felt, but the learning from them. So there's learning in everything, every day.
That's a good approach. Okay, have we got any questions from the group? Got a couple?
Hi Natalie, that was hugely inspirational, amazing. I think everybody agrees with me there, really amazing. And I just love the way you visually described about your friend, depression, and actually you wanted it to come with you and not always want to get rid of it. My question is, I presume you're kind of going public with this now. Would you like to be I'm not offering, but would you like to be a spokesperson for depression, or do you want to be known more as your excellent coaching? Because I think you've really, hit the nail on the head describing it.
Yeah.
I could see you doing a TED talk. You've probably done about 5 already, haven't you?
I think it would be great to get more out there in speaking about depression and using that analogy. It seems to fit, especially describing it to people who haven't had it. I've tried to describe it to my friends and even my mum, and using that is really helpful, saying that it's like a friend. It makes them understand when you want to let go. It is hard because they have been there for you, and yeah, it would be fantastic to get that out there. Yeah. Thank you.
Any other questions? Somebody else had their hand up? Or someone said your question earlier?
I think it was covered.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Natalie.
Thank you.